All right, Brayden, what up, man?
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
We are blessed as always, and we're happy because we get to talk baseball with you tonight, man. Before we get to baseball, I gotta ask, and really, Jim really wants to know the answer to this question more so than anybody. He's diehard LSU guy. You go into the game on Saturday,
Yes, absolutely.
so I feel like if you don't go to this game, they might take you off scholarship and ask you to you know, pack it up, man. Is that the truth? Is that how it works down there?
Yeah, I think so, man. LSU versus Bama. I don't understand how anybody could miss this game, especially now that it's a top 10 matchup. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, everyone, talks about the matchup, but really in general, just talk to us about, you go to Death Valley at night, man. The atmosphere's got to be electric, right?
Oh, it's unmatched. The LSU fans in any sport, really, it's just like the energy they bring to the table is just it's so cool to be a part of.
Yeah, it's gonna be popping tonight. It's a big one too, for obvious reasons, but for both teams. But I gotta ask, man, who's coming out with the W that at the game? LSU or is you gonna go with the Tide? Who are you taking here?
Man, the Tigers are hot. I gotta take the Tigers. Alabama's a good football team, but LSU's playing super well right now, and it's in Death Valley, so I think we take this one home for sure.
Ooh, well, hey, either way, win, lose or draw, it's gonna be electric. It's gonna be fun. But man, we're not here to talk about all that. That's this weekend. We're here to talk about you. So let's get down to business, man. Talk to me a little bit. Take me back. Where are you from? And tell me a little bit about the area that you grew up in.
Yeah, man, I grew up in Slidell, Louisiana. It's right outside of New Orleans. It's not too big, not too small. It's right in the middle. I felt it was a really good place for me to grow up. My whole family's from there, other than my mom's side. But I had a very good childhood. I had a very amazing family growing up. The other side of my family is from Berwick, Louisiana. And so, I was always back and forth between those two cities, going and visiting everybody. So, I'm very blessed to be where I'm from, and I'm proud to call it home.
So, you mentioned the family, tell me, you got brothers, you got sisters, you live with mom, dad. What's it like in
Yeah,
the house?
I live with my parents back in Slidell, but I have one sister named Reese, and she's 17 years old. She's senior in high school right now.
Can she play anything? She
Yeah,
a baller too?
she's a she's the real athlete in the family. She plays volleyball and softball, and she's quick, man. I don't think she's gonna play in college, but she's a very good athlete.
Yeah, I mean, what's funny is most of the athletes we have on, usually talk about, brothers or sisters, but every time it seems like anybody that we ask the question to, they're always giving credit to the female athletes in the family, either sister or mom, saying like they're the greatest athlete. They are by far, better than what I was at their age. So
Yeah,
it's
she is like one of the fastest girls that I've ever seen run, and it's just she's a shortstop and a center fielder on the softball field, and she's fun to watch.
well, speed is the key for those two positions for sure, man. But let's talk about baseball. Tell me, like, were were you a T-ball kid or were you a guy that's just like, nah, throw me to little league and I got this, man?
No, my dad, he put a bat in my hands when I was straight out the womb. So, I played T-ball. I started when I was 3, 4. So I played T-ball for 2 years and then went straight into coach pitch. And then after that, it was into travel ball when I was 9. So I was at rec league for the first, I think, 4 years that I started playing baseball. And then we went straight into travel ball.
So, I mean, what's that like being a T-ball player, knowing like your dad is a hitting coach, Like to me that
Yeah.
seems like it's like the ultimate cheat code for T-ball.
Yeah. When I was 5 years old, I was hitting homers over the fence off the tee, and I give it completely to my dad. My dad like started training me literally when I was 3 years old. He's molded my swing. He knows the most about my swing, and from like 7 to 8 to 9-year-olds, I had already 100 home runs in my life. So, he molded me from a young age to be a good baseball player, and I give all the credit to him.
So it's safe to say that the foundational skills that you had as a kid were directly correlated to what your dad was teaching.
Oh, absolutely. I would sit outside. He gave lessons in our backyard. We used to have a cage in our backyard. He owns a facility now, but he used to do everything in the backyard. So I'd go out there as a kid, having nothing to do, and I would just watch and learn as much as I could from him and ask him, every day, Dad, can you throw to me? Dad, can we hit? And he always did it for me, man. I got the best parents in the world, and I give everything to them for sure.
So it's probably safe to say when like they're telling kids growing up, you get better by taking swings. You need to take at least like 1,000 swings a day, I think is like what it was. But like no one could ever accomplish that feat. But I feel like you probably didn't have a choice growing up. It's like, you're going to the bathroom? All right, take your bat. You're going to dinner? All right, take your bat. There's like silly stuff, but I'm sure all of those little things, kind of molded you into, what you see today. But after after you have all this foundational skills with your dad, is there any people that you're looking to like to mold your game after? Because I mean, as you get ready to enter high school, you gotta like Louisiana is a hotbed for athletes and stars, and especially in sports. Is there any like role models or athletes that you're looking for to go, I want to play like that person?
Um, Man, I don't really compare myself to anybody, in terms of like growing up and, somebody to lean on and, do all that. Ryan Eads actually went to my high school. So, when I was in high school, I would ask him questions and, he was in the big leagues at the time. So, he was somebody that I bounced information off of. And, you know, I really enjoyed that a lot. I learned a lot from him. But, usually, or actually growing up, it was mainly my dad. My dad, I would bounce everything off of. He would tell me what I'm doing and how to do it. He never played professional baseball, but he's by far one of the best baseball minds I've ever, been around. So I never really had to look to anyone, but, obviously going forward, there's a lot of people that, I bounce information off of, like Dylan, my roommate, Dylan Cruz. He's unbelievable. And, I just I like getting people's ideas and how they approach the game and, just seeing how they handle themselves.
It's sounds like it's not just one person, it's a lot of different people for a lot of different reasons. Um, obviously you get ready at that point, you start building the skills, you play T-ball, the travel ball, now you're working your way to high school. What high school did you go to?
I went to North Shore High School in Slidell. Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about North Shore. Obviously, you competed for 3 seasons on the varsity squad. You earned all district honors all 3 of those years. As a senior, you were District 6 5A MVP. You were All Region 10 hitter of the year. Um, 380 batting average, 5 home runs, just a ton of success, man. What was your favorite moment playing at North Shore?
My favorite moment playing in North Shore. It had to be my sophomore year. We were an underdog going into the playoffs, and we went to Acadiana, and I think they were ranked like a top 5 seed or a top 10 seed, something like that. We were going in there as like a 28 seed, and nobody expected us to win, and we went in there and we lost the first game actually of a best of 3 series, and we all met up in the hotel and we were like, look, like we're better than this team. We can do this. And we ended up going out, walking off the second game, and then winning the third game. So we went in there as complete underdogs and we beat them. We shocked everybody. And that was probably one of my favorite moments for sure.
So, we talk to athletes and a lot of the baseball guys, and really most of the athletes we talk to, there's a very big difference in high school athletics and travel ball in regards to which one is most important for moving you to the next level. Um, was it at North Shore, or was there a travel ball team outside of that during your high school career where you were like, now colleges are seeing me more because I'm doing X, Y, or Z with this team or that?
Yeah, definitely travel ball for sure. I played with my dad's showcase team my freshman year. And my sophomore year, I moved to the East Coast Sox organization with Joe Caruso. And the tryout for that team actually was so big. They had hundreds of scouts there. And that tryout, I had a pretty decent day. And that was the day that Alabama actually saw me. And I ended up committing to them not too long after that. But definitely travel ball for sure. Going to all the showcases and, playing in front of all these schools with the East Coast Sox definitely put me in a better position to get scouted by schools and, to end up going places. So, I feel like nowadays, colleges don't really go to that many high school games because there's, perfect game events, PBR events all over the place. It's just, I feel like back in the day, they used to all go to the high school games instead of, seeing them on Twitter or Instagram and all this.
So, I mean, was there a particular moment or a particular, you know, time or game where that was the turning point where, oh man, here's Alabama, here's, Nicholls State, here's all these schools that are now like now playing at the next level has become a reality and not just I think I can.
Yeah, it was I went to a Nicholls State showcase, the first showcase that I've ever been to. I was super nervous and my dad played there. So, I was going in, he was just telling me to relax, man, like and just go have fun. So I went out there and I had one of the best batting practices of my life. I was hitting like and Nicholls is pretty deep. So, I was a freshman in high school and I was just letting it eat. I was launching balls and I didn't know that I had that in me, honestly, at the time. I haven't hit on a field in a long time, in terms of BP. And so they saw me hit and they told me that day, Coach Seth Thibodeau told me that day, he said, you're going to be a Nicholls baseball player. And I was so young, I was so hyped up. And that day was really when it set in for me. And then obviously going to the showcase and, continuing what I did was really eye opening.
So you mentioned committing to Bama, but then, inevitably you chose Nicholls State. So what happened that made you obviously decommit from Alabama and go, no, it's Nicholls?
Yeah, I was committed to Coach Greg Goff at Alabama, and he ended up getting released. I still don't really know what happened with that situation, but I called Coach Bohannon. We had a long conversation, and I just felt like it wasn't the place for me anymore. So, I decommitted, and I had a few schools reach out, but ultimately, I really wanted to go somewhere where I knew I was going to get a good shot to play. And Nicholls State was definitely the best option for me. Having, my dad played there. It's not too far from my parents. My mom's whole side of the family who, I didn't get to see as much as I would like to, growing up. It's only 30 minutes away from there. So it was a pretty easy decision for me out of high school, and going there, it was awesome. I got to spend so much time with my mom's side of the family, get a lot closer with them. And it was the place that was right for me in my heart at the time.
No, absolutely. You kind of took a little bit of my next question, but so you get to Nicholls State. How familiar are, obviously your dad played there. How familiar are you with the campus and the facilities there?
Yeah, before I got there, actually, I've been to, I think, one or two Nicholls State baseball games. My dad threw out the first pitch for a game when I think I was like 12 or 13. So we went to a game. That was the first time I ever went to a Nicholls State game. But I wasn't too familiar with it. I just knew that, you know, everything that I've been around the baseball field, and that was really it, honestly. I haven't gone there with my dad, but once I toured the campus, once I went on my official and stuff, it was super cool, and I enjoyed it.
No, absolutely. You kind of talked about it. You didn't know you had it in you at the showcase and everything, but you get in there You see action in all 18 games, obviously a shortened 2020 season, while making 16 starts, finished with a 365 batting average, along with squad highs and hits, RBIs, runs scored, posted a 13-game hitting streak, and also collected a squad best 5 multi-hit game, including an impressive 4-hit, showcasing a home victory over Long Island University. You were named to the 2020 Freshman All-American team by Collegiate Baseball. So again, more success in the shortened season, but tell us the most valuable thing that you learned during that season. Obviously, we've talked to a lot of guys during that season. That was nobody knew how to kind of deal with it, but what did you learn from it?
Yeah, going into my freshman year, that fall, going to Nicholls State was a complete shock, like for me as a baseball player. Going from high school and just practicing, probably 2 hours a day, and going to 4.5, 5 hour practices and absolutely grinding. I did not know what I was in for, but I'm never somebody that's going to run away from the grind. I love working hard. And, so going into the season, I was obviously a freshman, worried about playing time, and I didn't start the first game. And then I got a pinch hit, struck out on, I think, 3 pitches. And then the next game, we had a doubleheader the opening day. So the next game I got another pinch hit and I hit a homer. And from there, I was completely relaxed. My dad just said, you open the floodgates, just let them have it. So, I just staying in touch with my dad, and, him telling me, man, just go have fun, just enjoy it. And that's what I did.
No, absolutely. So kind of that summer, you go play ball in Orlando with the Sanford River Rats with future teammate Dylan Cruz. Obviously, we don't need to go through his credentials. The guy is an absolute stud, but talk to me about that summer for you personally.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. So the day before I went to Orlando, I get a call because once COVID hit, I already announced that I was leaving Nicholls. I was going to Delgado. And so once everything was legal, Coach Nolan Kane calls me. He's like, hey man, we want you to come be a Tiger. I was like, you don't have to say anymore. I'm there. I'm absolutely. LSU's my dream school since I was, 5 years old. So I called Coach Kane. We're trying to get everything set up. Everything happens so fast. It's all happened in one day. And then Coach Maneri calls me. I talked to Coach Maneri. I talked to Coach Eddie Smith, and I asked him, I'm like, hey, can I go play summer ball anywhere? I don't really know what to do. I'm just sitting at home, and Coach Eddie Smith was like, yeah, you're going to live with Dylan Cruz. And I was on the plane the next day. So, I texted Dylan, he came pick me up from the airport, and then, the rest is history.
No, absolutely. So obviously you talked about it. You end up at Delgado the next season, kind of talked about how the change kind of happens, but I kind of want to go through some of these JUCO All-American honors: 386, 15 doubles, 16 homers, 71 RBIs, 813 slugging percentage, and a 469 on base percentage. Obviously, those are outstanding numbers. There's clearly a trend here. Something that for you that was consistent through high school and college is a really high batting average. And we talked about obviously your dad being the hitting coach and, having that to lean on. But how do you keep that average so high? What's the secret?
Man, for me, it's just really having fun and not pressuring myself too much. When I put too much pressure on myself, that's when everything starts to crumble. And, in junior college and high school, I went out there and I just really had the most fun I could. And, last year when I struggled, I was just putting too much pressure on myself, trying to chase hits instead of just going up there with a plan, And Coach Sherman at Delgado, who is unbelievable, one of the best people I've ever met. He helped me out a lot. He's an unbelievable baseball mind. He's one of the best baseball managers I've ever been around. He's got the JUCO game down to a T. So, I just listen to him, bounce ideas off of him. And, he pretty much laid it out for me how to be successful. And I followed his plan and it worked.
Yeah. And you've mentioned it, obviously LSU being your dream school. So we're going to jump a little bit. And I'm going to read a quote that you said. Growing up in Louisiana, LSU has always been my dream school to play baseball. I want to win a national championship in front of the best fans in college baseball. So talk to me, Brayden, what is it like when you get that call? How did it all go down when you found out that you were going to go to your dream school and play for the LSU Tigers?
Yeah, so I got the call. I was at my house just sitting there, me and my parents and my grandmother, my grandfather. I get the call. I'm talking to Coach Nolan, and I knew the second he called me that I was like, once he said that we're interested, I knew for sure that that's where I was gonna, be. So I told my dad, I told my mom, I told my grandmother, my grandparents. They're crying, because my dad's dream growing up was to play at LSU as well. So we had the Zephyrs. I guess that was it, and LSU is the next big thing. So I went to LSU games growing up, and it was just the coolest thing in the world to me. So, everybody was crying. It was such a surreal moment for me and my family, and we're just very blessed to be in this position.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you get to LSU. What are the wave of emotions the first time you step out onto Alex Box, knowing that you are an official member of the LSU baseball team?
Yeah, it was so cool. I got to, I just went on the field and I walked around. I went into center field and I was just staring at the stadium and I was like, man, this is awesome. Like I don't understand how you can come here and just not love every single second of it. It's the best place ever. And, we get to show up to this unbelievable stadium every day and practice. So, it's so fun. It's better than everything I imagined and I'm loving it.
Yeah, I mean, as many guests as we have that have played at big time schools, you're one of the few that has this story of getting to play the dream school. Even, guys who played at the biggest of big schools, those weren't necessarily their dream schools and they didn't grow up there like you. So for you, it's just, I mean, it's really cool that you were able to accomplish this and be there now, obviously. And so we talked about you and Dylan Cruz having that relationship playing together. How nice was it? Because, usually you get into a program, maybe you don't know anybody, maybe you do, but, you got a guy you played with, you even lived with, I heard during, that travel ball team. So what's it like having a guy like that that you can kind of talk to and get acquainted with when you get there?
Yeah, man, it was super easy for me coming in. I knew Dylan, I knew Jordan. I met Jordan through Dylan. Obviously, they were roommates before. I knew Cade Doty and Hayden Travinsky were the only guys I knew on the team. But the second I stepped in the locker room, I felt like I was there for 3 years. Like the way that the team brought me in and, took me in, it was such a good feeling because as a freshman at Nicholls, it wasn't really like that. I had to, I wouldn't say earn my stripes, but it was just a little different. The vibe was a little different. You had to, you just had to push a little harder. So coming in, it was super comfortable for me, man. I'm very blessed to have all these great teammates. Beloso, Gavin, everybody, they welcomed me in with open arms, and it was just a super, super good feeling.
Yeah, and it's not a surprise. I tell these guys about it all the time. When, I first started going to the games, meeting all the dads and hanging out, they welcomed me in with open arms. And next thing you know, I felt like I know these guys forever. I'm going down there this weekend to watch y'all play. And I'm excited. I feel like I'm going to see family. And so it's not a surprise that, their sons are the same way. Y'all vibe and y'all are like family and y'all take care of each other. So, you come in there, Jay Johnson comes in, and there's a lot of changes, but a lot of expectations because it's LSU. And for y'all, it's Omaha and national titles, period. So, let's get into it. For you, 59 games, batting 246, 18 home runs, 58 RBIs, and 46 runs. So the power numbers are there, but for the first time ever, the batting average dipped. Would you attribute this to the difference in playing, SEC, pitching?
No, obviously it's better and, the competition is better, but, I feel like last year was a super weird year for me, mentally. I went through a lot of, ups and downs, as a, on the emotional side. And, I was DHing all the time. I feel that I hit a little better when I play in the field. So DHing, I like to, not take my bats to the field, worry about something else. But, when you go sit in the dugout for, 30 minutes before your next at bat, it's a little tough. And, that's not an excuse, but I felt that had a little something to do with it on my end. But I obviously could have done better with a lot of things. And, I learned a lot from last year. I'm glad. I wouldn't change anything if I went back. Yeah, with the average being down, yeah, like I said, I learned a lot from it. And, this year we're hoping to get it back up.
Yeah, no doubt. You obviously want to get it back up, but I mean, like I said, the power numbers were there. You sure didn't give us anything short on the highlight reel, my guy. I mean, when you hit bombs, you hit bombs. So, and I want to get right into that. I want to talk about, we're going to talk about the gauntlet of the SEC, and we're going to talk about the team as a whole. But Brayden, we have a thing on this show. Me, Randy, and Daniel, we all collectively hate two teams. We have never had a Vanderbilt guest or a Florida guest on purpose because we do not like either
never
team,
will.
and we never will. And it was perfect when I was going through your stats, and I saw when you were the SEC player of the week, and it was perfect, and for the reason why. So let's talk about that week where you started the week with a 2-homer game against Northwestern State, but then you go into Vandy's house, my guy, and you hit 3 bombs with 10 RBIs. So talk to me about that, especially because I happened to be there in Baton Rouge when y'all came off a really bad weekend against Ole Miss, but you turn around, y'all go to Vanderbilt and take care of business, and you have a weekend like that. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, so right before that, me and our hitting coach, Coach Wanaka, we call him Chief. We were working on a little swing tweak, and we put my hands lower. So I don't know what it is, but every time I feel like that I make a little swing tweak, I just, I do a lot better. So it's different. Like, it's crazy. So once I made a little swing tweak, I made a swing tweak right before the Florida series and right before Vandy. So, they both ended up working, but going into Vandy, Northwestern State, I hit 2 homers that day. It really boosted my confidence going into the weekend. And, I felt I was very streaky last year. So once I hit a homer, my confidence went through the roof. And, I just knew that I was going to go in there and have a good weekend. Our team was hot, and, we ended up putting it on Vandy, but it was a super fun weekend to be a part of the team and, go there and sweep them at home.
Yeah, well, and talk to me because like I said, I happened to be there when Ole Miss came to town, and that was just a rough weekend for y'all. So how good did it feel to bounce back like that next weekend?
Yeah, it was a super good feeling. And the last game, the Sunday game, being down, I think it was 8-1 or 7-1, and coming back and scoring what I think it was 20 something runs. It was
it was unreal.
it was awesome, man. And it was a really good momentum booster going into the SEC tournament for sure.
Yeah, George Cruz texted me and said, if you want to know how to shut the Vandy Whistler up, drop 20 piece on them. That'll do it.
Yeah.
So as a team, y'all went 40-22. Obviously, you lost in the regionals in Hattiesburg, but let's start. I want to talk to you. I was at the Shriners Classic, man. How cool is it playing in Minute Maid Park? With those other high caliber teams.
That was my first time ever playing at an MLB stadium, and it was unbelievable. I think we played in front of like 26,000 the Texas game.
The LSU Texas game. I sent these guys a video of the fans going back and forth. It was nice.
It was insane, man. It was super cool, and we got to take BP there, and that was always something that I wanted to do, was take a BP round in a major league stadium, and I let it eat, man. I was trying to launch balls. It was super fun.
Well, speaking of launch, I know this episode's about you, but let's talk about Jordan Thompson. Man, for you as somebody, you said that's one of your boys, like to see him absolutely mash that ball. What was that like?
I wouldn't have wanted that for anybody else. That's my guy. He's my roommate as well. He's such a good person. He works extremely hard, and for that to happen to him, he's been through a lot. He gets a lot of hate being the shortstop at LSU, and nobody deserves that, but he takes it so well, and I have so much respect for him, and it was awesome, man. That was one of my favorite moments as a baseball player.
Yeah. So, outside of the Vandy series we talked about, what was your other, in the SEC specifically, what would you say was your other favorite series that y'all had as a team? Not just for you individually, but as a team.
I think Florida for sure. Florida was, we weren't playing too great. We went into the Friday night game. We faced Barco, and then, we had a few guys step up and, talk to the team in a little huddle. And then the Saturday game energy was unbelievable. From the first pitch to the last disconnected. It was super, super cool. It was crazy energy. And, I think Trey started off with a homer that Saturday, and that just exploded the weekend. So definitely the Florida weekend for sure.
So, guys, can we safely say Braden's one of our favorite guests because they take care of Florida and Vandy, right? Like, I mean, obviously, Randy, I know your Vols did that too, but I mean, y'all took care of everybody, so that's different.
Anybody that takes care of Florida and Vandy is a friend of mine.
So, another cool moment was I couldn't be there for the whole weekend. My daughter had an out of town tournament in St. Louis. She's a club soccer player, but I got to be there for the Friday night game in Starkville. Talk to me. Obviously, y'all come back and win. Dylan Cruz hits the big bomb, but the Duty Noble is just known. Obviously, you got to see what it was like in that atmosphere. How cool was that series for you and getting those wins?
Yeah, that was awesome, man. Mississippi State was one of the coolest places to play. And, they had fans going crazy. But, I actually have a pretty cool story about Mississippi State. I played the last game ever on the first Duty Noble field. So for the East Coast Sox, they were just about to demolish the stadium and rebuild the new one. Or, whatever they did. So there was literally no seats in the whole stadium. Like half of the grass was torn up. We went over there and played a tournament, and I played the last game over there, and it was a super cool experience. So I got to play the last game there and one of the games in the new one. So that stadium is unbelievable, man. It was so cool.
Yeah, no, it's funny you bring that up. We had Elijah McNamee on last week, and he actually played through that. They actually, were doing renovations, through the season, and so they actually had to go from having huge crowds to small crowds, and it bounced around. So but now that place is massive and cool place to play. And I haven't heard a single opposing player say that they didn't enjoy their time there. Did you get fed while you were there?
No, I did not. They offered me some during BP, but I didn't do it. It was
during awesome. BP, they were trying to fatten you up. I see.
Uh-huh.
I got you. So, y'all went to Hattiesburg. I was there for the first two games. Got to see y'all win. Unfortunately, had to leave. I thought y'all had it in the bag. Clear cut. Thought you were a better team. We've had some of your teammates on, specifically like Eric Razelman, who just talked about there was no doubt in his mind that y'all were a better team. And it's not to sound salty, but would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Yeah, and so I feel like and he talked about it. He said he felt like it was on the pitchers, and I obviously was watching from home. He said it just felt like they had it that day, and that's baseball. He said it felt like they were hitting everything we were throwing, and it's just unfortunate because he said he really wanted y'all to get that rubber match with Ole Miss too. So that would have been something.
Absolutely, that series, the Southern Miss series, man, that was a heartbreaker for us. We played our heart out. So we obviously fell short, but the two comebacks in that regional were crazy. But I feel like we were definitely the best team in that regional for sure. And everybody was upset with the way things turned out. But we're gonna bounce back this year for sure.
Yeah, and that's right where I was going to go. Obviously, it leaves a hunger coming into this season, and as I said, LSU, it's all about titles. And, Randy read your quote, and that was one of the things that you want to accomplish while you're there. It's not just playing at LSU, but it's winning a national championship. And, this year, everybody knows it's on, with what y'all have returning, who y'all recruited, who's transferred in. Obviously, most people feel like it's the scariest lineup, you can possibly have. I feel that way. So let's jump into it. I've gotten to watch y'all a lot in fall this season, and so far, been seeing the stats and everything, and that lineup is showing everything of what people are expecting. So, talk to me about what you just feel like you're seeing from everybody and how good it feels.
Yeah, I think last fall we had a very good expectation for ourselves, but I feel that going into this season it'll be even higher. Coach Jay says we have all the talent, but that doesn't matter. So we put in the work. We we're just trying to get closer as a team, trying to have a very good chemistry and go and have a great season. But I think everybody's eyes are on our lineup, but I'm telling you, man, our pitching staff this year is going to be unbelievable. I can't wait to see how they do. And we're going to be a very hard team to beat this year for sure.
You need to quit reading my notes because I was going there next, Brayden. But no, before I get into the pitching, I was just going to ask, of the guys who's transferred in, man, obviously a lot of big names. We just had Tommy White on here. Obviously, you know about Skiness and all them guys, just honestly, like who's just impressed you the most? I'm gonna put you on the spot with that. It's not the dog, the other guys, but just who's really like marveled you.
In terms of like on the mound?
No, hitting. We're gonna get into pitching in a second.
Oh, hitting. Okay. Man.
I know it's hard, man. Y'all got a lot of them.
Yeah, I think everybody.
Myself.
Everybody's such a good player, man. We have a bunch of extremely good hitters on our team.
You know what? I'm not gonna do it to you. I'm gonna let you decide. We're gonna move the picture. If I feel like you don't want to do it, I'm not.
No, man. It's just Paul Skeens. He can absolutely rake. Tommy obviously can rake. Dylan is one of the most fun baseball players I've seen. It's just there's so many guys that are so good. It's hard to pick one.
Yeah, no doubt. And so you talked about the pitching, when I was there, obviously you talked about Skeens, man, Ty Floyd, other guys looked real good. So my question for you is, obviously you talked about the talent. Give us some names that maybe, people don't know about that aren't the big names. Tell me some guys that have really impressed you and that people should be on the lookout for.
Gavin Guidry has been having a very good fall. In terms of on the mound, Thatcher Hurd, obviously Christian Little, Grant Taylor is going to have an unbelievable year this year. I feel like he's going to be a first rounder this year. He's been doing exceptional on the mound. And I think Ty is going to have an extremely, extremely good year. It's me, him, and Jordan in our room. So, we get to bounce ideas off of each other, and he gets the best of us sometimes, but it's fun facing him. So we get to come home and talk trash, but he is a very electric pitcher.
Yeah, the last scrimmage I came to, he went 2 innings, and it was perfect because Tommy was coming on right after, and those 2 innings, I mean, he was lights out, and Tommy even talked about it because he got him with 3 straight sliders, and and Tommy was just talking about it was filthy. And so Ty definitely looked good in the appearance that I got to see him. But, obviously y'all got some scrimmages coming up starting tomorrow. I'll be out there Friday, and then you got a scrimmage against McNeese on Sunday. So I'm gonna put it to you, Brayden, man. I'm gonna need to see at least one bomb while I'm out there. No pressure. I mean, it's what you do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But with that, I'm gonna let Daniel play the game. You are now off the hot seat talking baseball.
All right, Brayden. Now it's to the fun part. We're gonna play a little game called This or That. You down?
Okay, I got it.
All right. So it's very simple. I give you 2 options, and some of these questions have thrown me for a loop because now some of them give you 3 options. So
this or that really, or that.
Yeah, this or that or that. So just pick one option or the other. Be decisive. Don't say both. Don't say neither, man. Just go with whatever hits you in the heart, man. That's all we care about.
Okay.
All right. First question. This is a easy one, or I think it's easy. Pizza or tacos?
Ooh.
I thought it was easy.
First time I met him, he's eating tacos.
Yeah, I was eating some tacos. Man, I gotta go tacos. Definitely.
Tacos.
Daniel, right. I told you about that before you continue on. I love it. He looks at me and goes, "My name's Brayden Jobert." Like, I know who the hell you are.
Meanwhile, he's got a mouth full of Gordita Crunch. So, all right. Rap, rock, or country music? Got to pick one. What you going with? Rap. All right.
Absolutely.
Little baby.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who's got more swagger? Dylan Cruz or Tommy White? Or is it you?
On the field or off the field?
Let's start with on the field.
On the field. Man. I think Dylan's got more of like a little subtle drip, but it's definitely there. I think Tommy's is a little more out there, but oh man, I think I'll give it to Dylan. And he once he brings out the turtleneck, it's over with.
If they were to do a giveaway item and it was either Tommy's chain or Dylan's shades, what do you think would be the hotter giveaway item?
It's chain every time, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dylan's shades are on
Okay.
point, bro.
Not like that chain.
No.
Yeah, I might have to go with the chain on that one.
What about off the field? You guys are, I don't know, you're going to the game this weekend, I'm assuming. Who
And you can pick yourself.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, in terms of off the field, honestly, I might go with me. I'm a big Jordan fan.
Oh, snap.
Oh, look
Now,
out.
look, I'm going to tell you, we've had a shoe connoisseur on this show not long ago, and she rolled out some that I don't know that you can compete with, man.
I mean, she unboxed them and everything right here.
They were
on the
unboxed
show.
and then unbagged.
Unboxed and then unboxed and then unbagged.
Yeah.
Louis Vuittons.
Oh, no, I don't have any of that designer stuff, but I got a few good pairs over here. I got the UNC ones and some Travis Scott Jordans, but
Okay.
I don't have
Well,
any
hey, boys, that might be one of the best backdrops. He's got the shoe game on display.
Shoe game right next to the guitar. Ladies, in case you're watching.
Yeah.
Your body is wonderland. Oh, that's just what I sang. But okay, never mind. Y'all go ahead then.
All right. Would you rather attend a concert or a sporting event? And I'll make it a little bit more specific for you. It's a bucket list concert or a bucket list sporting event. You can only pick one of them. Which one?
Man, I don't know. I've been to Game 7 of the World Series before, and it was super, super cool. But if I got to see Travis Scott in concert, I think I'd rather that, honestly.
Man, how cool is that?
You got to be careful going to them concerts.
Daniel, how cool is that?
No, yeah, you're right.
My man said, I've already been to Game 7 of the World Series. Excuse me.
That's what I was going to say. We have guests come on here and just say they want to go to the World Series, and he just flexes. Yeah, I've been to Game 7 of the World Series.
Which Game 7 was it?
Yeah,
it was 2019. It was a crazy, crazy day. So I'm at Nicholls State, a freshman. I'm in class. My dad texts me. He's like, hey, it's like 12 in the afternoon. He's like, hey, you want to go to Game 7 tonight? And I was like, hell yeah. So
say less.
Yeah, we had practice at 2. So I'm like, Dad, there's no way I can go. We have practice, I walk into my coach's office. So the answer is no so far. I walk into Coach Thibodeau's office. I'm like, hey, my dad just asked me to go to Game 7. I told him no. Did I make a mistake? He said, you made the biggest mistake of your life. I said, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. So I drove to the airport straight from the field, and we flew out to Game 7. I was wearing everything I had on from the field, and it was so cool.
Damn, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, it was a great experience.
Who are you looking forward to hosting more, Arkansas or Tennessee?
Tennessee, 100%.
You want to elaborate on that?
That was such.
You got a receipt for them? You got receipts for them?
I can tell you, not me personally, but a lot of people in our team is not a fan of the Vols. So, having the experience with Dylan's freshman year going, I think, what was it, 0 for 5 against Tennessee, I think?
It was.
In the Supers. Yeah. We have a vengeance for Tennessee. So that Tennessee series is going to be super fun, especially with the pitching matchups that we're going to have. And I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Let me tell you, Brayden, Randy will tell you firsthand. Fontenot came on here and was trying to claim that he had no ill will towards Tennessee. And we didn't release video back then, but if it was there, you could see his face and you could see really how bad he was lying.
We're like, hey man, do you hate Tennessee? He's like, of course I don't hate Tennessee.
A lot of players. So when they went to Tennessee for the series, the Tennessee fans got on them hard. So
yeah,
they got something coming.
Ooh, got something coming, Randy. Ooh,
I like it. Let's go.
All right. Would you rather play wiffle ball or would you rather play dodgeball?
Wiffle ball.
See, there it goes, guys. So we've come up with a theory here. Any position guy or guy that hits bombs wants to play wiffle ball, but any pitcher wants to play dodgeball.
Really?
Facts.
Yeah, I don't know. The wiffle balls move. They move crazy when you throw.
I don't know. Nothing beats throwing a dodgeball and hitting somebody right in the face.
Yeah, you are right. That is true.
Daniel, though, the pitchers, wiffle ball might be their one chance of hitting it. So they might want to play.
No, these dudes can't hit. If they trust me. Brayden can vouch. There ain't a pitcher one at LSU that can swing a bat.
Yeah, actually, they got the college version of Ohtani, my guy.
Well, one guy.
Ball, so.
I'm talking about pitcher only. So them dudes can't swing. They can swing a fungo bat. That's it. Stick to that. Would you rather be the hero or the villain?
The hero, definitely.
Who's your favorite superhero?
Spider-Man.
Man, is anybody got that's been like the universal answer for like the last 10 guys, Daniel?
Yeah.
Really, I think the web shooters are just super dope. That's the thing that gets me.
Randy says there's no one better than Batman. It's not even a competition.
That's just my personal opinion.
Gee,
Hey.
Is he even a superhero though? He's
Whoa,
wow.
Oh, he's just rich and he can fight.
Oh, yeah.
He's got cool gadgets and stuff, but he doesn't have.
So what would you rather be? A dude that shoots webs and can't fight?
No, I think
Spider-Man can fight. Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
No.
Are we watching the same movies?
Yeah.
What?
I'm with you, Brayden. These dudes are haters.
They can pick any old Benedict Cumberbatch to be Spider-Man. they have to go through hardcore searches for Batman.
Whoa, bro. The last dude who played Batman was the dude from Twilight, Daniel. Calm down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, I was gonna say
No
Tobey
said.
Maguire.
No said. All right. Last question, Brayden. Man, who's taking the win this weekend? Obviously, it's a bunch of good matchups, but in regards to the number 1 team versus the number 3 team, Georgia, Tennessee, who you got?
Man, how is Georgia's defense this year? Is it like it was last year?
Not quite. I mean, numbers wise, they're really, really good. But as far as that dominant bunch of NFL players, they don't have that.
Man, I don't know. I went to the Tennessee game when they came here, and their offense was so fast paced, and they just moved the ball down the field so quick and so much with authority. I talked to one of my friends that was on the football team, and he said they were just, their offense was dominant. So, man, honestly, I think I'm gonna have to go with Tennessee.
Ooh, the right choice.
I think it's gonna be a very, very good matchup, but.
The hatred for Tennessee is there, but it's not as heated as I thought.
Yeah, I've only played them one time, and it was in the tournament, so I don't really have that deep hate for them, but I know a few people on our squad do for sure.
Well, I'm gonna be down there. That's gonna be the biggest series. I mean, I'm hoping it's number 1 and number 2, like the preseason rankings got. It's gonna be on.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an exciting year, and man, we're looking forward to it. Obviously, a lot of hype around the LSU squad that's coming in this year. But Brayden, man, it's been a pleasure having you on. Anything you want to plug or promote before you get out of here?
No, man, I just want to say I really appreciate y'all, man. I had a great time.
Yeah, man, anytime. You got to come back now when we get into the season or we get out of the season, whatever's convenient.
No, once you say the right thing, Daniel, win the national championship. Just say
no,
it, Daniel.
no,
just
damn all that, Brayden. We need you to come back on before the Tennessee series. Let's just talk about it. Let's be friends.
Why don't you want to do it after? You scared?
Yeah, let's do it after.
No.
Oh Lord.
All right, bet. I'll be Batman. You be Spider-Man. I like my chances. Let's go.
Let's go.
I never thought that hero villain question would ever break out.
You know what, Brayden? I'm coming down to Baton Rouge. I'm coming to see it in person, baby.
Come on, I want to see you here. Let's go.
Let's go. But look, I'm still going to look either way it goes. Y'all beat us. It don't matter. We're still going to dap each other up after the game. It's all good.
All love.
Yep, for sure, man. All right. If y'all want to know more about Brayden Jobert, if you want to know more about LSU baseball, if you just want to see what he's doing on just a random Tuesday, going over to Instagram at Brayden Jobert or Follow him at LSU Baseball. Brayden, man, it's been a pleasure. We hope to have you back here soon, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys.
You got it, man. That's Brayden Jobert, everybody. We are going to take a quick little break, but when we come back, we got some headlines.